Amnian Knights, we are off camera tonight, which I find very strange, but there we are. We also don't have Obsidian tonight. He has ran away and stolen all of our webcams. So we will just be audio tonight, and we are in Athkatala. Well, would anyone like to summarise what happened last time? Maybe for a smidgen of inspiration for the session ahead? No? Okay,
I
that's
wasn't
fine.
here last time. I would love someone to summarize.
I could summarize. However, I have been holding on to onto inspiration for like 3 months, so maybe someone else can have it. So we had just finished.
I also have inspiration.
we had last time we finished off at the arena. Well,
I
this was
also
the
have
previous
inspiration.
one. In session 74, we finished the arena and then went to the spa, which is where that ended. So we started off with me and Asher leaving the spa. And then we primarily did some shopping stuff. So we visited the tailors, which was called Mage to Measure, specializing in robes and wizardy things and whatnot, and formal stuff. She mentioned she had a cloak of displacement for 4,000 gold pieces, which I'm now realizing maybe I should have taken her up on, but oh well. And she had some other abilities to imbue cloaks with enchantments at request. We went to the Church of the Forgotten, where it was a very. Oh, sorry, I'm reading from the notes where it has been written as church. I will immediately correct that. The Cathedral of the Forgotten, which, given its size, scale, and lack of grandeur, is probably more like a church, run by Michael, who was drinking some nice coffee. Obsidian noted that Kelsine had been there, which was a good little tidbit. And he also declined any donations, which Sire would have dropped. We went to I forgot what it's called, but the hatchery place that sells mystery eggs.
It's called the Hatchery.
The hatchery, where Sire was goaded into buying a large size egg by Obsidian and myself. Hopefully, it's not something horrendous like a dire centipede. I don't know. We visited Boomhilda's, the black powder based shop. Although, after trying something, Sire had a rather unpleasant kind of, flashback in terms of the smell and the memories it evoked. I forget what that bit of your brain is called and stuff, but you know what I mean. And decided
Memory?
olfactory senses, yes, exactly. And so she kind of decided she wasn't interested in buying anything, but left a message to say, let him know that I'm looking for him if you see him again, because her uncle, well, I should probably mention who I meant, Elias, he has been there before, so she left a message to say if he comes by, let him know I'm looking for him. And then at the Adventurers Guild, we found that Clem has located, with his contacts, Mithras's lair, and they are going to ambush Mithras returning from the hunt. We've been asked to join along with Hubris and Magira. So we've got a few hours to quickly do some final preparation work, which we have done. Pip wanted to buy a couple of scrolls, which he has done. Sire procured a couple of cold resistance potions, and we've got a few healing potions. And that pretty much brings us to it. Is he expecting us to leave in the morning?
Well, so I've given. So Sire bought some cold resistance potions and a greater healing potion, which I've done. I have the scrolls for you, but you don't appear to have the money on you, so I wasn't sure if you intended
That's fine.
to come from party coffers or how you want to
Yes,
approach it.
I put most of my money from the arena into the group, so I will use that money.
Okay, so let me find the party. The character called the party. Inventory. Can I type minus in?
If you can.
Nice. I have deducted 450 gold from your party inventory, and I am giving spell scroll, fairy fire, spell scroll, fly, spell scroll, tongues.
And I ditch another 200 for a couple of greater heals.
Okay, yeah, and Siri has sent you. Where are we? Equipment. So, yep. Burn 200 more gold, please.
Done.
I
Cool.
bet.
And so,
They have
are
a
we?
weird icon in the new game system. They just have like a cross in a circle. It's very odd.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Like almost like they're an effect, but they're not. They just have a stop sign.
I sent a trade request to Asher. Did that come through?
In your chat log, Asher? Oh, there we go. Yep, just
He's
come through
not
now.
paying attention.
Okay.
So,
And then I'm gonna guess this refreshes. This will refresh in my inventory at some point, right? Or do I have to manually reduce the quantity?
How do you mean?
Oh yeah, it gets weird after you do the trade. It like doesn't reflect.
I mean that I still have 3
Close
in
your
my
character
inventory.
sheet- Close your character sheet and open it. Is it reflected then?
It used to always
So
do
the
this for me.
the
Nice.
quantity and charges is not the same. I currently have 1 quantity and 1 charge, which is correct. You should have 2 quantity, 1 charge.
No, she says 3 quantity. So I'll take her down to 1 quantity.
Fine.
Quantity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, I think you would have had time to learn one of those scrolls overnight if you were penning one into your book. Pip,
Yes,
or
that was what I
you-
was wondering. Are we leaving the same day or do we have an evening? Because if we have an evening, I
Well,
definitely
it was
will.
afternoon, and you'll know you're getting there pre-dawn the following morning. So you basically have the night if you want to choose
Yes.
to commit a scroll rather than sleep.
I will scribe. I don't think I should need to forego sleep if we've got a few hours. But either way, I would probably make the effort to learn fly.
Okay. Destroy the scroll and add the spell, I guess.
I think I can just learn the spell myself.
Well, that's stupid, isn't it? Let me quickly... Oh, it's vanished from your inventorium.
Yeah, I've used it up.
Did it give you the option to learn it?
Not that I could see.
Well, that's very stupid. Okay, let me quickly... Spells. Fly.
To remove some of my ink.
Dragged it into your inventory. There's there, third level spells.
You.
So, you are woken up early. Obsidian is nowhere to be found, or you reach some in-character agreement on why he's not coming along but won't get him interrogated or blamed later. But you resolve to carry on without him. Or he's with you, but he just is ineffectual. It's up to you.
Well known
You-
for being ineffectual.
You get to the Adventurers Guild at the first crack of light and find that you are the last ones here, actually. Everybody else seems to be waiting. Magira, Hubris, Clem, Haviland, and Soldeal. Haviland back in before with a kobold. And also just 2 other members of the Adventurers Guild you haven't met before, but they appear to be there for technical reasons, as they are outfitting and sort of packing up what looks to be a rather large magical ballista on a platform of wheels that you haven't seen before. And as you arrive, Clem gives you a quick wave of his hat. Good morning, my friends. Are you prepared?
Prepared as we
Yeah.
can be, I think.
Good,
Yes, sir.
good. This is Biggs and Wedge. They're responsible for manning this beautiful piece of machinery. And you can see, like, from the ballista has, like, the bolt that's loaded into it at the moment is already glowing. It's clearly a highly magic bolt. Yeah.
How many of those do we have?
Just the one, but it's got quite a few rounds ready for it. My hope is we can fill the beast as it approaches, or unawares.
What do we know of the beast's lair? I know most of the time dragons have some effect in their environment, and their lairs tend to, well, take into their personalities or something like that.
White dragons typically are the least sophisticated and thought through of dragon kind, but there are obviously exceptions. We have word that Mithras' lair is little more than a huge bloody hollow carved into the mountainside. He doesn't even seem to particularly partake in treasure, I'm told. To him, and most white dragons, it is simply about the hunt. Apex predators with a bullying streak.
I see.
I will be clear now, Biggs and Wedge are not combatants. Their bravery far exceeds our own. I would ask that you make it a priority to ensure that they get out of this alive.
Do we have tokens for them?
I forgot to put them on here, but we're on the next one.
Okay.
They are a pair of humans. Men in... Like, they are not important enough to have actual character art. They have, like, token...
Are they wearing red shirts?
If you want to get real, one's wearing a red shirt, one's wearing a blue shirt, because that's how Biggs and Wedge always are in Final Fantasy games.
I knew I recognized the names. Okay.
We just thinking Star Trek red shirts.
I couldn't think. No, there's similar. I was thinking red shirts from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because they're coming on the away mission.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah, and Biggs says, I'm so glad I got to see a dragon fight before I retired
Yeah.
next week.
Oh.
Pay no attention to Biggs. He's a new dad.
Got a picture of his wife right there in his wallet.
So, what's our strategy? What is our positioning?
We arrive while he's out on his morning hunt. We quickly get the lay of the land, decide where and how we want to ambush based on what we find, and then wait for his return.
Okay. I will, Kura and I will try to get its attention focused on us and try to remain quite spread it out so that if it were to use its breath, it doesn't catch all of us.
Very wise. Hubris will probably be on top of it. The rest of us will fan around. I think we shall be quite safe. It's challenging, but there are quite a few of us, and you've begun to acquit yourselves quite well.
I just have one question. I know the timing of it is going to seem a little poor, but why are we killing Mithras again? This is the guy that, like, had his whole family slaughtered and then later had the rest of his family killed, and he's just, like, old and keeps to himself? Or am I forgetting?
I think out of character you're forgetting that he has been absolutely ravaging the
Okay.
North for like 10 years, but much more so recently.
Well, then never mind. Because it's like, I swear this was the dude.
And like you've had a couple of encounters where
Did
like
some wizard kill his whole family, and then he like made good with him.
well,
And then
you
was
have
chill.
books to read, but you know more recently like he's gathering an army of like yetis and other things. And
I retract then the question. I apologize.
Clem's like, you've been touched.
I wasn't paying attention. I also wasn't.
He was-
there
yeah,
when
he
you
was-
guys went up to the ice area.
But why white
Mithras
dragons?
is so outside of my fucking wheelhouse.
Yeah, we read a book on him. But yeah, like he was just, yeah, he is not nice.
Okay, I wasn't there that session.
Remember, you can hit J and go to the Dragon Hall and click on Mithras, be old white death.
J.
Yeah, the recent activity from the
Oh,
Dragon Hall book is reports, sightings, and encounters of Mithras have increased over the last 2 years, almost all of them being violent. But frequently all but confirms that he's abandoned his former year and all Yovigitan and must be rooting inland, though his purpose is unknown.
Okay, so lately he's gotten all fucking
He's a dick.
yeah. All right.
But I think you became more interested in him when Sendax read Pip's mind and was like, "Oh, Mithras, thanks."
Hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was it.
That's right. Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Forget. I didn't ask that.
So Magira asks if everybody's ready, and if so, to try and huddle around the ballista. Obsidian is probably not here. And she steps forward and joins with you this time and casts a larger, more complex teleportation ritual than you've seen before. And after a few moments, you are blipped in the usual fashion that you've become familiar with. And a terrible, terrible cold slams into you all. Which I will now take you to. You all sort of swim for a moment. There we go. You swim for a moment as you clearly adjust to this difference in air or altitude or air pressure for a moment before the cold hits, and you find yourself looking out over. Yeah, you look out a cliff overlooking a huge sweeping valley for what looks like dozens of miles before it reaches another range in the distance. Behind you, a large foreboding cavern, not particularly dark. The entrance is enormous. It allows more than enough light in that you can see the spoiled meat and carcasses inside. Biggs and Wedge immediately fall to setting up the ballista. You see that it's on a heavy set of wheels and looks like it's able to be moved around a little. But immediately on, after taking a couple of seconds to compose themselves, you see Haviland just shift into that larger dragonborn that you.
That Haviland was with her.
Oh, possibly. after a moment to compose themselves, you see that the others just move out with purpose, sort of fanning out and taking stock of the area. Hubris just leaps and goes about 30, 40 foot up into one of the trees and starts looking out from there.
Do we want to engage it out here, or rather in the cave, where the movement is more restricted?
I am quite ineffective until we are fairly close ranged. So, if we can get it on the ground, then I can leap. But as I said, I don't know what dangers lie in this lair. Which means I should probably take a look. She's going to carefully, gingerly take a look into this cavern. It looks quite light in here.
It does, yeah. You can see a lot of the ceiling
Right.
above it is ice that has been like melted and refrozen and melted and refrozen. And the result is it's quite a lot of glare in here. You would probably be able to get the tan in here, I reckon. So yeah, there's no shadowy nooks or crannies. You are confident even with these rocks that unless it is a very, very small thing, there is nothing hiding in it.
Right. I would also, this might take a roll, but I'd like to evaluate the ground. So for cracked ice and avalanche potential, I guess also if stalagmites, stalactites, things like that.
Despite the map, it is definitely not an icy, like, there's not water beneath ice here. It is ground.
Sure.
I think
Okay.
this is what the artist did to make it. Hey, even if you're not outside, it's a frosty map, remember?
Yeah.
It's very much stone floor.
Don't feel.
There are a few stalag downs. Shit, was it mixed up?
Might
Heights.
the ceiling hold tight to the ceiling?
Okay, stalactites dotted around, none bigger than an arm.
Okay.
I look around
and-
for dragon hordes.
You see, there is not a coin in here.
How upsetting.
Clem just said this is like this.
Did he?
Yeah, when you were
Damn,
in the
just
city.
wouldn't have come.
I am going to reach into one of my many pockets and pull out a little central crystal. I'm just going to snap it, and it's going to ignite Fizz. Prestidigitation on my cloak, warming it for a little while. And then next, I'm going to pull out a little glass apple and stab it into my legs.
Lovely. Cast drugs. Would it be worthwhile me setting up a dome of protection? I wouldn't be able to leave it once it was set up.
Would you be able to cast from inside it?
Let me recall how the new version of that works. I can hear the DM sweating as I say it. So this version says creatures and objects within the emanation when you cast can move through. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing. Spells of level 3 or lower can't be cast through it or extend into it. And one would assume that me ducking my head and hands out is considered bullshit cheese. So I could, I guess, he's a white dragon, so like he said, they are generally the more brutish, but he could still potentially cast spells. I don't know, but
I would say you also look around as you're having this conversation and look at the sheer environmental damage leading to and from this cave entrance. I would imagine, I don't know how dome protection works with having an avalanche on top of it.
Oof. I mean, it's
Level is
fine
fine
and,
for you.
until 8 hours is up.
Yeah.
After that, not so hot. Yeah. I don't know. We could try it. What do you guys think? I wouldn't really be able to hide it, apart from it getting covered in snow. It's more of a refuge, but I can't cast it at a later time when we like are in dire straits. I either have to
Why not?
precast it or not at all,
You
Oh.
have to stay in it.
and I'd have to stay in it the whole time.
I don't
And
think that is.
I would also only ever be able to cast 2 spells because I've only got 2 level 4 slots.
Yeah, I say don't. Yeah.
I always love shit like this as well. It's like, cool. How long with this blizzard until like a windscreen is just full of snow?
Yeah.
And you can't see out anymore.
Well, there's nothing I can do. I'm not sure it would really matter because I can't cast any of my spells out of it either. So I'll just be
Yeah.
sat there with a protective hole.
It's balmy.
But everyone else
balmy
could use
for
it.
everybody else to be like, just jump in and be like, Mom said I can't get wet.
Ooh. Do we think? I mean, we know. Maybe I should address Haviland. Haviland. I know. Dragons have dragon sight, but how effective is invisibility versus such a powerful creature? Does their sight extend into seeing
In this
invisible
larger
creatures?
form, his voice is differently clever. Not all dragons have dragon sight. That is a gift that can be developed.
It's so weird hearing with this voice. Oh, right, but for example, true sight or such abilities?
This depends on the dragon. It is not as simple as all dragons of a particular type have
Let's see.
that vision.
Okay, well
I
maybe that
suspect
would
he
be worth
may
trying.
not, but his sense of smell and his cunning as a predator unmatched will be formidable.
Yes, if he has a true sight or the ability to sense our locations via vibration, then it would be pointless. But we can at least find out, I suppose.
Allow me to put into context for you gravity. To my reckoning, Mithras has killed more dragons than any creature living. This
Goodness.
is a dragon who preys on dragons.
There's no way we could like get him on our side, right? We offered him a really large. I don't know, whatever predator's like.
From the
Is that
sound of it.
serious? I don't know if it's a serious question.
No, no. She starts.
I mean,
off
Ash is not a
serious
very
and then
serious person.
Realizes the absurdity of it, and just kind of like peters off. talking
By the
to
sound of it,
herself.
since he doesn't keep a horde and is killing other dragons, it sounds like he mostly does it because he wants to, more than because he's has any material motivation.
Yeah, we're just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
A dragon killing creature, and we're about to kill it, and then just really nice and like we just be like, hey man, there's this one
Could-
guy who's a real pain in the ass. Maybe focus your efforts.
Well, that's part of the problem. I'm not sure how Sendax does it, but it seemed like dragons were ending up fighting for him rather than against him. So I suppose but again, that might not be because he's convincing them, but rather because he's so powerful he can corrupt them in some way.
And you would
But-
remember, we have briefly touched on before, you would remember, Pip, there was a basically fucking last flight of the dragons against Sendax before he wiped a lot of them out.
Yes.
And
I do.
Mithras was a dragon who fought against Sendax.
What?
You have remembered
I
that.
remember this.
Pip has always known this from the first.
Although, well, I
Like,
did,
it wasn't
but
like you knew him. You just
but also in that timey-wimey timeline, Corvellium was Corvellium the Despoiler, so...
Yes. And your system is
Still is.
Haviland.
Yes.
Every dragon must have some sort of weakness or weak spot.
A sentiment shared by many fairy tale tellers. They have a weakness the same way that every person would have a weakness. There is no magical missing scale at the base of the tail.
Hmm.
We need to overcome Mithras, the personality, not simply a great white dragon. Although fire,
Personality of a hunter.
Sounds more like a shark
you all hear a rumble of thunder, despite the lack of rain in the distance. And Haviland and Clem's heads both just snap across the valley in the direction of it, and all of them sort of ready themselves. He is closer than I expected.
We doing this outside? We learn them inside? What are we doing? It's a long drop. He, gets us over the edge.
Besides, we are too close together. We are a target for his breath.
Inside, outside?
Does it look like they're... Yeah, what are they doing? We're following their lead. What are they doing, DM?
I think it's up to you. Do you want to take some? Clem looks around and like squints. I think we have a minute, maybe two. If we're inside, we lose our chance to shoot at him as he arrives. We get a few shots as he approaches. If we're inside, we have the element of surprise, but we are far more close to him. We could begin shooting here and then leave a ballista and get inside as he approaches.
Can the ballista not turn around and use the entrance of this cave? Shoot from here as well, once he's inside.
Biggs looks around it. We could duck out the way as he comes in and bring it around behind him inside.
Great, you do that. I'm going
The
to
moment where you
walk.
just see sort of Magira, Clem, and Hubris all just clearly cast their like pre-battle spells, and they just sort of all like erupt in various hues and shields and glimmers for a moment. Magira just drifts 50 foot up into the air as well.
50 foot up in the air? Fuck me. Jesus crikey. No, let's see what happens and if we can get him. And Siri's going to basically try to get into this position. Sort of here. Is this scalable, DM? Where Clem is?
Yeah, it's a huge.
Yeah.
Like I'd say that's no more than 15, 20 foot. And it's a slab. It's just a huge chunk of certainly, if it was in combat, it would be fiddly. But out of combat, yeah, Christ, this is already just be super scale.
Funnily enough, I was hoping that Cora wouldn't. That it would be through combat. So I'm gonna try to hide in these underneath this fallen tree.
Hey, maybe a stealth check. It's an advantage. Oh,
But I've got so much time.
okay. You still got a big suit of armor, and it's still stealth. Let's see how hidden you are.
But it's. Yep.
Clem
Coming.
leans then draws two swords and like leans back against the snowbank, and you see. Where is Asher? I've in real life lost where Asher is.
He's down south.
Ah, so she is, yeah. There is another roar, and maybe looking out across the valley, still maybe perhaps a little more miles away, you see the most undragon-like looking dragon you've seen so far. There is nothing as like serpentine and snake-like as Galavax and Ulan is. Mithras is like an ox. It is larger quite a bit than
I rolled a stealth and it was disadvantage and it was a 1 and a 20.
Oh no. I drink a potion of resistance.
Yeah, Mithras is larger even than Onslaught. There are obviously no mammoths here, but that is what you're looking at compared to body size. Yeah, the wings are just broad, unflapping, and he's not particularly fast, but there is a undeniable gravity to his approach. Magira closes down him. Her voice amplified by magic. Are we going to take shots?
I think that's the plan, yeah. But that's kind of her team, so I hope so.
The Lister, they work for a moment, and there's a building whining noise and a blow from a crystal front, and then it fires off, looking more like an eldritch blast than firing a bolt. The bolt is gone. It's just projecting at huge speed. And it travels. So I think you would notice, particularly with like ranged weapons, there is no dip to this. You should have every resistance. I thought that potion would ask you to pick one on consumption. Yep. Take a roll off the second column. Yeah, but Sarah, you would notice there is no dip of gravity from this. When it fires, it is a straight bolt. Like a magical ray of some sort. And you see a crash as it does appear to pierce lightly Mithras's chest. And there is a renewed roar, and he seems to increase his speed. Biggs and Wedge fall to, loading another bolt in. What are you all doing?
Hello.
You each have effectively one round of action. Actually, what I'm going to do, the easy way for you to do it
Yeah.
is just
Just
call it combat and just let it run through a thing with initiative.
Yep.
Oh, wait,
Hey!
Describe.
Oh, for frick's sakes.
Okay, Pip, what are you doing?
Mirror image. Maintain that position, I suppose.
Asher. Doing.
How does Dragon's Breath wrap around corners, or does hiding behind a rock blast over it like it is in a movie?
It depends on the dragons who describe like big red. He's described like fireball where it spans around. I think like red, green, and black moves around She's going to hold her action. No, George is going to haste herself.
Nice.
Siri?
Siri is going to take the dodge action and position herself a little bit kind of here, trying to find a bit of cover if there is any to be found. And Cora is going to be 30 feet. It's not Siri, Cora. 30 feet in the air, just sort of up there, but 30 feet up.
Is Hubris just on that mound, or is she in the air?
She would have moved higher to... No, she won't quite that high.
But she's standing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bagheera is going to... Biggs and Wedge successfully finish loading and fire the ballista again after a few moments. You all see Mithras just lower this enormous head and take the brunt of the blast. But as he lifts his head back, you definitely see a very small, well, small from here, probably a bit bigger in person, running up towards the down between the scales. He roars again, and what couple of birds from the trees here take away and take flight. And you just hear a
Hips shaking in his boots. Does he wear boots?
perception check.
I will obnoxiously remind the DM that I have observer feet. Blizzard.
Does your observer feat have the expertise set to Atlas? Like, you shouldn't have to remind me because it should give you expertise.
No, it's not a. Wait, did they change this?
Well, it's now choose insight, investigation, or perception. If you lack proficiency, gain it. And if you have proficiency, gain expertise. So it should be
Oh, I don't have expertise.
Okay, for which one do you put it in for? Investigation?
Perception.
Perception?
Okay. Oh no, no DM. It is on insight. Sorry. So it should be just +5.
Okay, so again, there we go.
It's good. I forgot that
You
it was
notice that
changed.
Mithras is like flying underneath the frosty clouds, and like as he travels, he seems to be like beginning to pull them behind him. They're just like up billow into this, almost like a huge parachute or sail that's like above and behind him. And this train is bringing some sort of storm. It'll take not long till he's here. Okay, what are you doing?
God. Do I know the fighting techniques of all of these people? So, like, Hubris, Suldil, Haviland, Clem, do they all fight in melee primarily?
I feel like from their equipment and from the arena, you would know that everyone here, each one of them except Bagheera, is a melee fighter. Well, you have seen them just swap the spells.
Also, Haviland was primarily casting anyway, but as a more supportive figure. Okay, what distance are we talking about for Dragoon?
About a mile.
A mile. I hold on to Firebolt because I have nothing anywhere near that range.
Amalan is going to ready light. Well, Dungeon. Clem is going to be ready.
Can dodge and also remember that she can search as a bonus action. So that's just for me to remember.
So is that like a loading screen tip for me?
No, it's just I'm making myself aware that I can search. She worries at the cloud formation, and she says, "Is this guy going to about to use cloud as a cover?" And gets ready to search for a dark silhouette if that's the case.
Bagheera is going to drift over a bit and sort of get himself just on the wall behind her. Suspect maybe she's about to. She is preparing for she needs to swap to a different concentration spell. Biggs and Wedge fire another shotgun ballista. Mithras seems almost expecting it this time and manages to just bank at the last moment ever so slightly and it just disappears over his shoulder. As he approaches, you are all watching it arrive as huge towards you, and something begins to stir in the clouds fog above and behind. It's a moment where you're waiting to see what he's going to unleash, and then in this just shocking moment you didn't expect, a huge purple entity just dive bombs out from the cloud cover and collides heavily with Mithras, just bearing it down to the ground. A dragon almost twice the size of Mithras just bodies him into the valley below. Both creatures are big enough that you have a full view of what is happening. Mithras gives this huge roar of anger and defiance, but after a couple of huge cracks that even carries up here to the ledge you're on, you see our screams of agony. It quickly goes from a predator to just this panicked creature. Looking up at you with just a hand wrapped around the mostly now removed neck of Mithras is just a huge dragon made of purple crystal. Your companions break into complete panic. Clem rushes forward. What are you doing? This is happening over a mile away. As you're looking down, you can see the creature that is clearly Sendax is pointedly looking up at you all as he just drags Mithras through the snow. I will also say, Siri and Asha, please roll me a wisdom saving throw, both of you. You both feel this inexplicable sense of feral panic come up in you both, which is different to the fear you've had in combat. The focus on what's happening, keeping your wits about you, and you fight through it, or you're both aware of this moment of complete Biggs and Wedge. Well, yeah. What do you all do? We'll go in combat order still. Pip.
Pip would call out, say, "We should get out of here. Magira, can you take us back?"
Asha. As in get. He's gonna look at you and nod. Havalan pushes forward a little bit and looks down. He's like, we do not have strength for this.
Yeah, no.
Havalan just looks over. Even the two of us cannot take him. Sildeel grits and nods and is going to rush over to Magira. Clem, you have never seen Clem look so nervous or panicked. He has thrown his coat off over his shoulders and sort of looked back at the usual sort of bravado isn't there. He's like, he's sort of calling back over his shoulder. I could get there. I could take him. I could get him now, and you could all get away. And as he's going, Magira is like, Clem, enough! Not now! And so Clem looks very, very conflicted about something. Hubris sort of rushes over to Clem. Ciri, you notice that as Hubris gets over to him, she sort of bows her head a bit deferentially for a moment before she's trying to grab and drag Clem. Ciri, what are you doing?
In a very similar way. I think Ciri and Hubris reach Clem almost simultaneously, and if she will allow, she will use her action together with Hubris to drag Clem backwards. Just say, "We live to find another time, old man." And just kind of see if I can grapple him, and not badly, but just kind of arm under his arm, and try to convince him to follow us.
While this is happening as well, I will say that you are hearing hideous screams from Mithras. There was a moment where the screams, I would say, by the end of this round, the screams very clearly and abruptly stop. Magira almost leaps down to the floor. You see that she lands a little heavier than you imagine she probably intended to in the snow, and she begins casting a spell. It's like, everybody get over here! Sendax rises up from now the corpse of Mithras. I would say you maybe now notice something extremely weird about how Sendax flies. The wings are not moving at all. He has wings, but his flight seems to be hovering or floating instead. Yeah, he begins moving in your direction rapidly. Blood just raining off him, none of which appears to be his. Top of a round, Pip.
I'm going to use Misty Step and teleport past this obstacle for my bonus action, and then use my movement to get right into Magira, ready to be transported.
Haviland looks out in the direction of Sendax approaching. And calls out, Koroska Volaskot Koroskolovon! Perhaps the echo is on the wind. I don't believe that is a language that anyone here knows. Rush over to Magira. Deal. Follow. Clem, Sire, you, even with hubris, you would have very little success in moving Clem. He really fought against you both, but he just tenses and then slacks for a moment, gives a grim nod and turns and strides back with you, looking over his shoulder towards Sendax, towards the others. Hubris, giving you a bit of a relieved look for a moment. Sire rushes over and joins. Sendax is several hundred feet away now. You can see that he is bigger than Mithras. Sire, you?
Sira gets closer and feels how Cora kind of resists. Cora wants to stay out, and Cora's gonna stay 30 feet away from Sira, kind of like vanguard, sort of facing off to Sendax. I think that's about 30 feet. Yeah.
He's going to cast a spell, and again, Pip, you just, not the first time in your life you've seen the sky filling with purple at the approach of this enormous amethyst death as Megira's spell goes off, and you're all flung back through the portal. There's a huge flurry of snow that comes with you and just spills out. Despite how serious the moment is, Sangzor just has a brief random, like the goat equivalent of the zoomies, I guess, just running through this flurry of snow and throwing it up as Biggs and Wedge are here as well, as you all just crumple or land rather unceremoniously and rushed back in there, almost swelteringly, almost sickeningly hot for a moment, temperate air of Afkatla. And Clem just strides away and just pushes the ballista against the building with a frustrated shout. Is everybody all right? We're all accounted for.
Biggs and whatever.
Yeah, they're here. They're here.
Okay.
We're all accounted for, yes. Except Sendax, except Mithras, I suppose. Or if he knew our movements, or if he just happened to be there at that time.
What do you mean, you wonder? Of course he knows our movements. He's toying with us.
I hope he finished
This
the
is-
job.
This is not safe. We shouldn't be here. If we are to meet and talk, we need to do it somewhere where he can't read our minds or listen to us talking. We cannot plan anywhere other than somewhere where we're sure of he will not intervene.
Glenn, does the Adventurers Guild main planning room have any sort of scrying proof ability? Like, some conveniently lead-lined walls?
Not that the cows would allow in a city like Afkadla. I could investigate. I could speak with learned friends and see if we can gain access to a mansion spell, perhaps.
We could take them to that one place that we know, he says, trying to be subtle.
I'm just gonna kind of
Um,
A very slight shake of the head towards him.
Sire nods her head in agreement with him and in disagreement with Asher.
Man.
Good luck, Pip.
I will message you both in turn. And just say, love them, don't trust them enough to have them in our only safe place.
I can reply to this message, right? But it's essentially a whisper, right?
Let's see. Hold on.
It is a whisper, and I have to point at you. I think.
You can reply in a whisper that only I can hear. But only you can
Okay.
hear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I'm
your
gonna
whisper
just
will be
point.
overheard by others.
I'm gonna point it to you and say, "They are our only allies. If we can't trust them, then we are fucked, regardless of whether we invite them or not."
Again, it's our one safe place.
Don't panic. I
Uh,
can't remember if this is changing between kobold or dragon. Or kobold or dragonborn. Which one? Yeah, it's full dragon. Never mind. I think the dragonborn one is actually, I think, a different token. One moment.
Don't panic. Haviland kills you all.
Yeah, Haviland goes to rest a hand on Clem's shoulder for a moment, but Clem just like wrenches away, clearly still very annoyed and upset with the situation.
Sira turns to Asher. If Haviland can trust Clem, then surely we can too.
I will message her back and say Havlam didn't invite Clem to the manor.
The lady has a point.
Hubris is like, am I needed for anything else? I will go inside if not.
I don't know. I'm gonna look at Clem. I guess we're not doing what we thought today.
The battle
I
was
think we need to
well-intended.
debrief. We need to debrief. Perhaps we can, as she's looking at Suldio and Pip and Asher and Howlong, regroup once we have a moment to gather our wits.
Yeah.
What that look like for you? You want to debrief here or chat more with Clem or go somewhere else?
I was kind of hoping Clem would go away so we could go to our private little castle in the clouds. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was trying to sort of hint. Maybe we should go to our.
Megara, Clem, we'll catch up with you later. We're going to
Clem
retire
starts
elsewhere for
shrugging
now.
off. Thank you for everything.
Thank you for saving our lives, Megara.
The door then.
Sire,
Yes.
I
Sir.
am going to send you a Discord message.
I kind of love that, and I kind of hate that. Almonds.
almonds for breakfast. What ridiculous breakfast. But most important meal.
Just because you haven't had fresh almonds.
Okay, so you are using the door. So the key is being used. A minute, I think we said it was, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it?
Is it a minute?
I thought it was immediate. It was a key turn.
No,
We've
there
never
isn't
waited a
absolute.
minute before, have we?
No, there is, because I've made it with mind of you can't vanish mid-combat. Where are we? Where is the thing? There's always been an amount. I think it is 1 minute. Because yeah, I never went in combat. Everyone's able to
Right.
go, sorry,
Well, I
encounter.
remember that
But I feel like the 10
conversation.
minutes was excessive.
Yeah.
1 minute felt like a decent amount. Okay, yeah. So you go to the platinum. Oh, what? I mean, yes, you can, Jija. It is just heavy. It is heavy wood, reinforced with heavy iron bands. I feel like from your history and your youth and your education on matters of formal warfare, you would know that a lot of siege weaponry is very heavily iron banded, just so it doesn't wrench itself apart when it fires with such force. And you saw the force that this thing, fired with.
And did I notice that because of the way he walked away? Like, did he just push it?
Well, he kind of shoved it angrily when
Shoved it.
you came
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah,
When
okay.
you teleported back in.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
your estimation would be that Clem
Yep.
lifts.
Yep, I will. Yeah.
Is not all fool. Okay, let me bring you back in. We'll really go overboard and fantastical here and say that Obsidian's in his room. But yeah.
Like that would ever happen.
I'm blind.
Are you? Oh, are you? Your old 2014 versions are here. 1 second.
Whilst the DM gives us vision, Siri would comment to Asher and to Pip, going like, Clem is very strong for his size. Just now he pushed over that ballista like it was nothing. And in the battlefield, the combined strength of Hubris and I could not carry him, not even an inch. So he either has some very powerful magic item granting him some superhuman strength, or there is something going on with that man.
Well, he is more accomplished than us and exceeded our abilities in the arena, etc. So I'm not surprised.
Abilities is one thing. Raw physical strength, I mean, there's a limit to what muscles can do, given a size.
That's true. I mean, there are so many possibilities. I'm not sure where we would start. I do know of a couple of different magical items that could grant such strength. Belts, gauntlets, enchanted to make the wearer
belt and huge box gloves on.
enchanted to make the wearer strong beyond that of any mere mortal, or perhaps it's, I don't know, something in his blood or some other kind of magical enchantment. There are many possibilities. Can I think back and see if I could notice whether anything Clem was wearing looked like it might have been a magical artifact?
I think you have done like detect magic in his presence before and basically had confirmation that he is bedecked in magical items. He's certainly above his attunement
I mean, he's been doing a lot of adventuring for the Adventurers Guild, so you better have that swag.
Mm. Ida is going to, now that we're back, she's going to grab the huge egg, grab some sort of cloth, and fashion a sling. She will now be kangarooing a huge egg, like some sort of weird mother hen. Because priorities.
Were you carrying that into battle, or did you leave it here?
I left it here before, though. Just had a quick trip and told housekeeper to watch over it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think you needed to I don't think you need to hold it, you know.
Every small living creature needs to be held, whether they know it or not. It's okay, Pip. I used to raise chickens. I know what I'm doing.
Did she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Freya must have kept some chickens. No? In my headcanon, the Gladstones had some nesting hens.
Okay.
That's my
Fair enough.
headcanon.
So, you are here. Housekeeper flutters over.
Well, there will be I know we're going to need to talk about today, but why don't we have a little break from that and Haviland, maybe you could tell us what you've achieved on your journeys?
Indeed. Which Haviland one? We do not really have a place to sit and chat, do we?
Isn't it this room?
Oh
here?
yeah,
This
yeah
room?
we do. Yeah. Not enough seats
I
still,
will
but
greet housekeeper.
greetings.
Hey, man.
And yeah, it's a few minutes early, but I think we'll take our 15 minutes there and pick up with the RPs afterwards.
Amazing.
It is currently 5 to. Let's come back at 10 past. Had no activities at the moment, so I will remain here.
Alright.
And just continues looking between each of you. Custodian just hovers in the corner. And yeah, you lower into your seats if you want to, or stand if you don't. But what do you want to discuss?
Yes, Haviland, tell us of your expedition prior to the arena. You'd gone off seeking other knowledge and information?
I was seeking information on potential allies to our cause, mainly in the form of eggs that could be rescued and raised. We travelled Westgate, Mulhessen, and ended up in Saloon. I did think that we would travel all the way to Selgaunt, but in Saloon I found the right sort of people, traded the right sort of stories, and found enough useful information to follow up what seems to be an almost certain lead on a metallic dragon egg. And yeah,
Well, that's great news.
takes a small map and unfurls it, pretend it's on the table in front of you. Have you ever heard of Chult? No. I think Luca must lost some tea then. There's an island in the Isle of Thunder. If you're familiar with the Nalantha, and for those of you in character who are, you know that's a small archipelago to the west of the Sword Coast. The Isle of Thunder is north of the Nalantha. It is a hot and humid island, ruled almost entirely by a society of Yuan-Tai. And I have learned from multiple sources and a bit of research that it would seem that their king, queen, god, emperor, whoever rules over their society, has the prized possession of a metallic dragon egg. Copper, I believe, from the descriptions of the egg, but that it is being held in their temple and will be considered a great auspice when it hatches. The problem is, without the correct care, it will never hatch, and over the decades it will cool and turn to stone.
So, how do we get it?
I think that you should sail there and steal it.
Okay.
Yuan-Tai can be doing nothing good with a young dragon, even if they manage to hatch it. This is a port city. I'm sure it will be easy enough for you to hire or buy a vessel and sail to the Isle of Thunder and retrieve this dragon. In the
Forgive me,
meantime,
I am not.
I will gather the equipment and material needed for a hatching ritual, and you should give thought to how you feel this dragon could aid us.
I mean, when it hatches, I assume it's just like a baby dragon for a while, right? It's not going to be actually helpful to us in fighting Sendax.
Suldil looks a bit
Right.
affronted, but Haviland gives a bit of a smile. He's like, of course it would not be large or formidable, but if you bond, then latent magic will be bestowed upon you, and that is that'll be the short-term boon.
I'm just gonna side glance and see Ray. Just seems like her sort of thing. Right. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. So we need to go to the Thunder Isles and go to their temple and take their egg.
It's just here.
Um,
Holds up his map. I have unhidden the Isle of Thunder on the map of
Do we have
the
this in
Sword
our
Coast.
quests?
Not yet. I've literally just told you about it, but I have revealed the island on the map.
I know little about the UNT people. In fact, I say little, I know nothing. Is this, do they keep in large groups, small groups? You said king, god, emperor. This usually entails a number of guards, protection. Surely are we talking of some sort of infiltration mission?
I believe that will be at your discretion whether you wish to take it via subterfuge or force. I would imagine the island probably holds several hundred Yuan-Tai of varying types. They are a fluid and changeable race with many forms. And for those who don't know, he will. If there's anyone in character who we think doesn't know, he will explain that they are a snake people with different mutations and forms, and they are quite a violent people typically.
Is this island inhabited exclusively by Yuan-Ti?
I would imagine there are beasts and creatures. The sailor, though this may have been a confused embellishment from the Yuan-Tai himself, described it being an island populated with larger than usual aggressive lizards.
I see. Sounds delightful. And warm.
So it may be prudent for you to regroup, decide if there's anything you need to do after such a challenging, I say day. It is, I think it is not even time for breakfast yet. Yeah, it's like 7 in the morning.
Yeah. Avalon, I assume no one else knows what you found out on the Isle of Thunder, right?
Other than the sailor who we spoke to.
Well, right, but you didn't tell him, oh, hey, we found an egg. Like, he just knows that you went out there, right?
I have not been to the island. This is the information I received
Oh.
has led to knowledge of the egg.
Oh, okay. Alright.
You
The
think
nature
this
of a
should
dragon
be?
bond, I cannot swoop in there for it and hand it to you and say, bond with this creature. But
Oh, yeah,
the
no.
journey is
I
very
was given
important.
this morning, I just don't really, I'm not looking forward to showing up on the Isle of Thunder and then, you know, our new best friend shows up and, like, eats the whole temple. So, just trying to make sure we're all playing our cards close to the chest.
Should we expect to be attacked on sight in this island? Will all Yuan-Ti be hostile towards strangers?
In my experience, you and I try to trade first to gain a measure of you, whether in goods or information, and then we will try to enslave you, yes.
Good to know.
The warm-blooded races are of little regard to them. If you interact with them, assume that violence will come.
Right.
Is there anything they value more in trade that you know of? Something that perhaps is rare in the island and we could
Power
use.
over each other. We have a tumultuous society. Again, I speak in textbook terms. There will be,
I understand.
sure, the most gracious you and I out
I meant more in terms of goods. Something that might be hard to come by in the island, but
there. I would suspect good steel.
I see.
They are often reviled in civilization for the same reason that so many dragons choose to present ourselves as mortal races.
I don't know how I feel about providing arms to an already belligerent people.
Been quiet through this, Pip. What's Pip thinking?
What to prioritize next? And he would say that to Haviland. Do you think this should be high on our list of priorities to address sooner rather than later?
What are your alternatives, do you feel?
Over the table,
I'll
we
put-
still need to meet with the lady, right? Yeah. okay.
Yes. Well, that may change our options once we've spoken to Lady Azuria. But traveling to the Isle of Thunder, unless we're, well, I suppose
Over
if
the
we're,
table, this is what I have planned for the next few weeks because of Gigi's absence.
Oh, okay.
we're
Oh
going to
no,
the Isle of
I don't get to
Thunder.
go? Oh, I want to go.
No, this totally makes sense.
Oh.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. This egg needs us. Let's go.
I was looking at the map and I was like, oh, well, the Sylvan Door is also there.
I know,
so,
because we also need to be like making our way out to the Feywild as well. You know. eventually.
Dude, if I can join, I will join.
Thunder is calling me, so
Yeah, we gotta go save a baby dragon.
do you think that we could use teleportation to get there, or are we going to need to sail? It seems like it would take quite a while.
I believe it would take just over a week of sailing.
A week? I mean, it is a long way. Maybe 350 miles, looking at the map. Do you think we would be able to purchase teleportation from Magira? Either for, obviously I know this is not a guild mission, but either for coin or for a return favor?
I mean, we could always ask, but I know the last time we did that, we literally had to go into a swamp and find a guy and whatever just to make it worth the guild's while.
Siri, you can see that Haviland is not disgruntled, but perhaps a little uncomfortable for a moment. And you see he sort of opens his mouth for a moment and clearly weighs his words carefully. And he's like, a bond like this is made of the struggle of achieving it and the journey of getting there. To use the strength of others to be dropped at the doorstep of this creature one of you intends to bind yourself to is not the way it should be done.
I completely understand what you're saying. I mean, to be fair, you bring up a really good point. I'm not sure Asher and Pip have expressed a desire for the bond. I know I have in the past, although I have still to reckon with the implications of it. But there's definitely a lot of to consider.
Kenny Dragon wants me.
That is for the journey to decide.
Very well then. We should start making plans to charter a ship or passage as soon as we are able to. It's best not to waste any time, I should think.
Yeah.
It is well that this is a city with a full dock and many ships and sailors always looking for work. Whilst you are gone for these weeks, I will make preparations here for a ritual should you return with the egg. Know that this will not be a case of finding an egg and then one of you agreeing who will be bonded. That relationship will become clear to yourselves. And perhaps this dragon will be bonded to nobody, but will be a staunch ally. Again, the journey will tell.
My experience with bonding is that one doesn't choose the bond. It's almost like inevitable. And Kura sort of buzzes by Sira's side. She looks at Asher. It's not really a matter of will. It's a matter of fate, nature, laws of physics and gravity. Not everything is within our control.
Yeah, no, nothing is actually ever. We saw that today. But still, we'll go get the egg. But like, we don't need to. I'm not worried about the bonding thing. I'm sure little baby dragon will pick someone super knightly and willing and ready.
Pip, I've just realised. In collecting your spells, you would have picked up arm wraps.
Oh yes. They would have been delivered to the guild, right?
I think they were. So I'm not sure if Pip's handing those over, or would have already given them, or if he's keeping hold of them for a later moment.
Oh, it was primarily Sire.
Was it?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
I'm
He
sorry.
chose the color.
I don't know.
But,
Is that what it was? I thought it was Pip driven. It's a Sirah. In that case, Sirah. Yes, they would have been delivered last night while you were getting potions and stuff. I'm not sure.
Sure.
If you wanted to do so. I say this just to try and help us avoid the music box incident where you were carrying it around for 9 months because you both forgot.
Yeah. If there's a chance, I will approach Asher later.
So, I mean, it's good that we've got a plan for the short term. I don't know. Is there anything else we need to say about what's happened today? Sordil, Haviland? I mean...
Simply that I feel it shows that as much as you have grown so far, Sendak still far outstrips us, and these short-term goals, like locating eggs and building allies around Arm, are all steps towards the larger goal of furthering your power against Sendaks.
Yes, it feels like there's a long way to go, and at times futile, but there is only one way forward.
We shan't forget that whilst we have managed to successfully disrupt the drug, the firebrand threat remains. They might be quiet now, but that doesn't mean they won't strike. We know that they're gathering black powder. And she briefs Haviland about the Hilda incident. So I'm not sure exactly how much they've managed to pick up or what they're trying to prepare with it, but clearly whilst we denied them access to you and your power, they're still very much out there, although hopefully not for long.
They themselves had very little business with me. I feel they were little more than the employed security for that place. It was Ardef's own agents that were draining me.
There is only so far one can claim deniability, whilst knowing full well what their strength and actions are helping others to achieve.
You are speaking from experience as well, of course.
I don't believe I have had a chance to tell you I was part of the group a long time ago. The leader is, well, the brother of the man who took me in when I was a child. And for a time I thought I was helping noble and true goals. But over time I took issue with the methods. I think you're right. Maybe not as big as a threat as others, but nevertheless a tool in Sendak's arsenal that we could disarm.
Black powder and schemes around the city still has potential for a large amount of suffering. It certainly seems like something that should be attended to. It seems that you have sent a message to your uncle now, from what you've just told me. Perhaps these people will find their way to you and this confrontation will come sooner rather than later.
One hopes I'll be ready for it. But in the meantime, I think the bigger issue at hand is how Sendak seems to be not only far more powerful than us, but also a step ahead every single time. today felt like a show of power, but not necessarily brutality, but strategic. How is that possible? Or how do we guard against it?
I think we get Pip one of those rings that shield his mind. You know?
It certainly feels like I can't be risking glimpsing ahead until something like that is possible. But if he can see us at all times, that's even worse.
It would seem from the stories you've told me and his agents that no amethyst can be trusted.
Yeah, and we've come across quite a few people that wear them on rings, so who knows?
Back when I had a home that was so dear enough to me that it felt as a part of myself, as he in character describes having a lair. By my metallic nature, I myself was able to see through any mirror placed in my home. I suspect that Sendex has a variant of this with amethysts. It would explain why you've described so many of his underlings and lieutenants as having been wearing them.
Yeah. Just a follow up to that. If you were to continue placing mirrors out, would you expand your home?
No, I no longer have such a home.
Right.
Perhaps in the future. But still, that power is limited. I could not place a mirror here and see through it. How he extends his power beyond a typical lair is most concerning to me.
Alright, I was just making sure those little amethyst rings weren't some sort of home seedling or something for him. I don't know how to describe it. But okay. Well, obviously any sort of purple rock is not to be trusted.
Speaking of artifacts, Haviland, I wanted you to have a look at this, perhaps? And he will produce from his backpack the Amalshun mask. I used it to grant us access to the Tomb of Amalshun, but then it seemed to be talking for itself and indeed trying to impersonate me to absorb Ash's healing abilities. I suppose I wanted to know your thoughts. If it's simply a magical artifact and a key to that tomb, then perhaps we should destroy it. But if it has any further abilities or dangers, then maybe we should treat it differently. I don't know.
And he will take it and he will cast a couple of spells on it. You recognize detect magic and identify, and then a more complex spell that seems to pull in a lot of strands and motes of light from the air which wrap around the item and then just almost cascade away like sort of typewriter lines before fading out. It's like, this is an ancient historical artifact, and it does have magical power, though it seems to be limited entirely to the means of unlocking a place, which it sounds like you already did. I can feel here that it can accommodate a spirit residing within it, though there is not.
There is
know for
not.
certain that a spirit within the place was not simply residing in it, using it as a conduit to be healed?
I certainly suppose it's possible. We did not get any more, conversation with them.
Regardless, now this is a storied and valuable, historically significant key.
Well, that's fine then. No need to destroy it, though. Tempting to sell it as an artifact, but if we don't want people to be raiding that tomb, then perhaps we should hold on to it as a bauble.
You could simply store it here if you wish to keep it out of dangerous hands.
Oh man, do we have a trophy room?
You don't, but it is a thing that can be built.
Cool.
And if we ever decide we need gold, we can go back to Amalshion's tomb.
It's in the pawning pile. If things ever really, really bad, hit the car boot box.
Yes, and we were planning to shortly speak to Lady Azuria about, well, I suppose various things, but I wanted to talk to her about, I don't know, alternate realities and the like. I don't suppose that's something you have any more information on. I know we've talked about it before. Is she the best person to ask? Are there others?
It is not an area that I have learned any more. But you said that she seems quite well informed of Sendax's goals and activities, perhaps because of her similar nature. I think that she would be the best person for you to speak to once she arrives in the city. If you want, whilst I am in Afkatla in your absence, I can certainly send an envoy to her and try and arrange a meeting when you're back and try and find some commonality in our next steps.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be most helpful. You don't think she will be arriving before we leave?
He just gives a shrug. Like, I could not speak for her.
Yes, I suppose. I'm not sure exactly when her arrival date is or how long it will take them.
Have you any other questions for me in the meantime? You all showed tremendous courage on that mountainside today. And it was your first time seeing a dragon like Mithras, even before what happened. We were with good people.
I have a question for you, Haviland. Something that Asher pointed out, actually. Her observation. Clem. I noticed you haven't issued an invitation for him to join us in this hall. And yet you seem to be very close allies. Does he have your trust?
He does.
Do you think we should... I remember in the past, he and you had disagreements about how many resources to commit to the cause. But today he seemed adamant to... No, it almost seemed like he wanted to face the creature himself. I guess what I'm asking is, what is up with that?
He sits back and is clearly thinking and not speaking for well over a minute. And Saul Deal just seems to busy himself with documents and idly checking the contents of his bag. And after a while, Haviland sort of strokes his chin and was Clem is a man who has been running his organization and is a figure of seniority. And then I turn up and make demands and express expectations of how better he should be doing things in the circumstances. It's enough to make anybody bristle. But his commitment to the cause of good, in the face of a creature like Mithras, and then even more so in the cruelty of an individual like Sendax, I do not feel that the man who has begrudged me ordering his house around, this can be the same man who will fight for good.
Then, as she looks to Asher to see if she would come on board with this, I think we should give him and Megira and Hubris access to these halls for any discussion that may or not involve Sendax going forward. And that is only after Housekeeper does a full proper suite of every single room constructed here for any and all amethyst in any shape or form.
I will say above the table going forward, because so many maps just have little gems and jewels scattered. If there is actual amethyst, I will make a point of pointing it out. What I don't want for the remainder of this campaign is, hey DM, in this pile of gems I see a bit of purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so then I'm going to take for granted that there's no such amethyst to be found
Yeah,
anywhere into our
The
portrait.
sweep makes sense. I was thinking going forward in future maps, like, oh no. A stained glass window. What's that purple part made of, DM? Okay, yep.
In fact,
Havalan
we should
sort of
probably,
stretches
I
his arms
wonder,
out, but he's like, this is not a decision I will make as far as I'm concerned. I am guiding you all to being the future of this place. I defer to you on this.
well, my mind is clear. She braces, should we put it to a vote? Obsidian doesn't feel like voting today, I guess.
Obsidian
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
be in
don't
here
have
to
all
vote.
our members here, so we can't really do a vote. But I would
Oh,
vote
David.
against because, while I don't have long-term plans to become some sort of dragon knight, I do recognize that, Clem and all the others are already in the Adventurers Guild, and this was a thing that we were invited to, and there's a whole thing going back, and it's special, and just making it Adventurers Guild number 2 seems kind of, I don't know.
I don't think that's what I'm proposing. It's merely just so that if there's things to discuss in the future that concern Sendax, that we would have a safe place to do so. Since the Adventurers Guild has no magical protection for scrying.
Yeah, in the event that we need to discuss something with them, I personally don't see the harm in inviting them in for a temporary discussion.
But we don't need to decide that today, that's right.
I think it would
Since
only
we
be
don't.
relevant if we had, some specific plans, such as we did with Mithras, though. So probably won't be relevant for a long time.
But this egg, it shouldn't be mentioned at all outside of this house in the clouds.
Yeah.
We're not beholden to them, so as far as they know, we're off on whatever our business is.
Havalan nods. I think that is wise.
Right. Shall we see if we can charter a ship then?
Do you have any rooms you wish to sort at the moment? I think you once again talked about potential ideas, but I don't know if you locked anything in.
I think we're kind of on a saving mode.
Yeah, okay.
Syria just spent quite a lot of money Oh, DM, do I have my new? Do I have did Clem go through with his promise of getting me my armor? I did pay for it.
Yes, you would have had it.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So
I'm going
armor can be
to.
back on.
I'm gonna return that one to good old Cromwell.
What were the rooms we recently got?
I feel
The
like
latrines and
I feel
kennels.
like those toilets and kennels, wasn't it? Are they still in progress or should they be completed now? I can't remember.
I don't know.
They, on my sheet, they were still in progress, but they would have completed by now, and I am marking them as such.
Let me resolve that.
Oh my
So
god,
it's
my
what?
carried weight went
So
down
it was
so bad, so
latrines.
much.
So latrines was one, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Sewers or whatever we got.
And the other one was what? Kennels.
The kennels, I think. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you notice that there are 2 extra rooms at the back of the building near near the kitchen. Oh no, I'm gonna change that round. The shit is next to the kitchen. I don't like that. No, no, no. There we go. That's better.
A morgue.
You know how you did the little thing with our names?
Yeah.
You do that with.
Yeah, I will be like after the session. I'm not gonna sit and type it all up mid-session. I'll put all that in afterwards. Because there's also a potential to rearrange a few of these. Like you might want you have a pet room near the door and like all the dirty morgue and toilets at the back. I don't know. But yeah, there is toilets and your kennels now at the back.
Well, upgrading to lavish bedrooms grants benefits, but is 700 gold. I'm still thinking about whether it might be worth my while buying that cloak of displacement.
Are you going to
Spend-
place the egg in the animal room for now? Or are you keeping it on you, Sarah?
Does it have to be warmed, or was it? Because I remember Asha carrying it around in some sort of like. And I guess I have a question. Is Sarah going to Chult?
It's not actually Chult. That was a joke because we're always
I
talking
know.
about Chult. I suppose she's either there and silent and just along so that it does not have to be explained to you afterwards in character, or is she pursuing leads in the city? That's something for you and I to sort out afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think Siri will like if the thing doesn't.
Go on.
If it doesn't need body heat, then I'm gonna carry it around until we leave. But yeah, I like to carry. I like to mother hen it around.
Okay.
Actually, no. You know what? It's gonna break. It's gonna break. No. Okay, no. Let's keep it safe. I'm gonna go to housekeeper. Housekeeper. This is an egg.
It is an egg.
Originally, I bought it as a companion for yourself, and then I thought maybe the creature might have its own desires, and that might not align with mine, and I should not bring a creature into this world and then force it to have the life that I choose for it. Anyway, would you mind taking care of it for now? I'm not sure if it requires warmth. I'm not sure what's inside. It might be a cold-blooded creature for all I know. Excuse me?
Albumin.
Excuse me?
I can cook it if you would wish.
No, no. I would very much like to keep the shell intact until the creature inside breaks out of it. That is very important. Please make a note.
Very well. This egg is far too large for me to carry, but I can show you where it can be placed.
Yes, I will. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he will
I will.
float off the back and show you the kennels room.
Kennel! Oh, I hit a wall. Excuse me. Excuse me. We've got kennels! There's too many walls. Walls. Oh, this looks too empty for now.
Well, yes,
Well-
there's animals in it.
So it's going to place the big egg on the big fluffy pink cushion thing. Housekeeper, do we have any facility to play music in this room? Oh God,
It's a very big egg.
that's big.
I can stand here and sing.
Yes, please do that
I-
now.
I think it like that very much.
And yeah, he will break out. He will just sort of perch on this. I can't remember if it's a crate or if it's a big hamster wheel. I think it's a crate. And will just begin singing. It's clearly just like a recording almost of somebody else singing. But yeah, he just begins to sing some recognizable tavern ballads, classics.
You're telling me it's not in Housekeeper's voice?
It's non-housekeeper's voice.
That is devastating news.
It's like Wally when he plays the old-timey film music.
Yeah. And yeah, he will sit
Uh.
there and sing.
I'm going to put my hand on the egg and say, "You are safe now. Take your time. Enjoy the music. I'll be back." And gonna check out. What else did we get? Oh, look, a kitchen. Have we seen this kitchen? I think we had.
The other new room was for the trees over here.
A bathroom. God, is that leaking?
Just a fume.
It's not. Oh, sorry, I didn't know there was anyone in here.
Occupied!
Why is my room next to it?
No, why is it locked now? Let me out!
For convenience, seriously, you have less distance to travel at night.
So does the gas. Room suit room.
So, if you have no other business here, and we're heading to the docks, ship. My God, it's a magic door. I think that we will leave it there so that we pick up at the start of that, leg of the voyage next session.
I would like to.
Platinum business to attend to.
No business, but if there's maybe people potter around. Pip is going to use the latrines, and I'd like
Oh, he
to
has a
grab
bladder.
a minute of calmness with where Asher is around. If she's, I don't know, maybe in the kitchen or.
She's in her room, laying on the floor.
Wow.
She
She
slunk off at some point while you were dealing with the egg, and everyone was, she was just laying on the floor.
Sarah will knock on the door.
It's open.
I'm knocking just in case. You might have left it open accidentally. Can I come in?
It's open.
Okay. Hi. Oh god, there's lots of things here. How did you track of everything?
I mean, I kind of don't. You know, you just kind of search around when you need it, and eventually you find it. It's always where you last put it.
You can see her eyes are kind of like she's getting a slight like sensory overload in this room. Like there's just too many things to smell and look at and potentially touch. So it takes a second, and then she kind of finally focuses on you. Well, I got you something. It was meant to be some sort of celebratory, you know. We have killed a horrid white dragon that will no longer terrorize the Sword Coast. Yay! I guess the result is accomplished, even though it wasn't as we planned. But anyway, we were shopping yesterday, and I saw something, and it reminded me of you. And she's just gonna kind of like constantly like toss this wrapped thing at Asha.
Okay. Catch it, I guess? Yeah, she'll catch it. I don't know if she would catch it, but we'll say she catches it.
Open it. If you don't like it, it's probably returnable. I mean, I'm not sure. It is custom ordered, but I'm sure we can figure it out. You don't have to. If you don't like it, like you don't have to.
What am I looking at?
Ooh, do you not know?
No, I heard you guys mention hand wraps, but no, I don't know.
Okay. So what you're holding is a pair of very well made silk gloves, but fingerless. They kind of secure with like a little chain that goes through like a ring finger or two, and they go all the way sort of like past the elbow. And I think we said they're like a very nice green with some golden embroidery in the shape of like leaves and vines. I'm saying, I noticed you like to cover your arms, and sometimes, maybe there's someplace fancy you want to go, and this matches your colors and your eyes. They bring out your eyes. And anyway, Pete mostly helped me choose the color and the details. He was, yeah. So, yeah, that's just a small thing. You're welcome.
And after a moment's thought, she'll start unwrapping one of her arms and try one on.
Which I would guess would be the first time Sirius sees the scars.
Yeah. Which are really more like cracks of light in her skin.
Because they do kind of, and they glow, right? They have a little...
Yeah, just a little bit.
Is Asher tracking Sirius' reaction to that?
No, I mean, you can tell that she sat there and thought about it for a second, and then just decided to go ahead anyways.
Sirius really summoning self-control right now. I should do. Anyway. Well, now you have options, right? Sometimes you might want to wash them, or I don't know, give it a change. I don't know. We were just in the shop. It had lots of nice soft stuff, and it reminded me of your ribbons or your bandages. Anyway. see you later.
Yeah, later. Thank you.
She is going to. Do you need to close the door?
No, I never close it.
Okay. Please.
Cool.
And kind of mutters to herself, like, "What the hell?" When she like, just, "What the hell were those?"
I think that's very good. One of us! Those are my cats. Okay, good. Then yes, we will leave it there. Ready to pick up next week. Still only like 9 a.m. as you will leave the hall and go and try and charter a ship.
At least it's early enough that we can go down to the docks and still get someone, I guess.
Yeah, like you can still go and
The
get
day
breakfast.
is not lost.
But okay, cool. We will be back next week. We should have everybody next week, I think. I mean, it's after that we are G-less for a while. So yeah, we will see you next week. Hopefully all on camera, including myself. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.